In a recent conference, Hollywood actress Gwyneth Paltrow admitted being the divorced parent of two is not an easy role to play. Take a look.
It's been hard, and, you know, like, we've gone through really difficult times with it, but we've always said these children are our priority, and that doesn't mean, so that means, what that really means is, even though today you hate me and you never want to see me again, like, we're going to brunch because it's Sunday and that's what we're due.
Wow.
You know, like, that's what's happening. Like, the children are our commitment.
Here with tips on how to co-parent like a grown-up, please welcome family therapist Natasha Sinney. Good morning.
Good morning.
So here we are. I think this is one of the toughest things, and things we hear about with friends of yours, if you know a couple who are separated. Well, there's collateral there. There are children involved.
Yes.
And we'd all like to think that we're going to act a certain way, but there is so much loaded emotion here that it's actually difficult for even the most balanced person, I think.
It is. I mean, because unfortunately, once your marriage has ended, there's all this emotional turmoil in between you and your ex, and you really need to put it on the side, park your emotions and your needs, and keep this child-centered and child-focused at all times.
What if I'm not good at communicating in a certain way with my ex?
Oh, that's so hard. A lot of people have trouble communicating face-to-face, so I tell people, find another way to communicate. Write it down, leave it for a while, and put it away, and then go back to it. Avoid the drama, avoid the blaming, avoid the accusations. Think about the message you want to get to your ex. And it's about, here's what the kids needs, or here's something coming up in the child's life. You want to make sure there's no surprises for your children. You don't want them showing up for pajama day at school and they don't have pajamas.
Right. You also say be flexible with your kids' time. What do you mean by that?
Well, you know, we all know once you get a separation divorce, there's these separation divorce agreements, or, you know, kids are at this house today, then they're at this house, right? But things happen, right? You have a business schedule, you may have to have business traveling, your kids may be sick, you may be sick, or you may need a favor from your spouse.
Right.
So if you can learn to be flexible with their children's times, you're actually helping your children, and, you know, you're teaching your kids that even though you're not together, you can still cooperate.
And even if you need to think of it in your own terms, when you do a favor, that favor is outstanding still, right? As long as the other person honors that.
Hopefully. I mean, really, hopefully this is going to become a reciprocal cooperation between the two parents, but sometimes you've got to suck it up for the team and do what's best for your children.
Yeah, okay. Be polite, courteous, positive.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds, that's just some nice advice. That's difficult.
It is really difficult, but remember what my mom told you, keep your mouth shut if you have nothing nice to say. And that goes back to rule number one.
Right.
Find another way to communicate. But you have to be polite always to your ex, to their family, and maybe potentially to their future partner. It's so damaging to say mean comments, be spiteful or hurtful about your child's mom or dad. It really harms them.
Right. Just think of it, I think, in a schoolyard where one kid says something mean about your parents. Well, imagine your own parent saying something mean about the person who gave you life.
Exactly. I mean, you have to put your emotions aside. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say it. And you find yourself really stuck in that I'm angry or I'm resentful.
Right.
Seek personal individual therapy for that.
That's a natural thing, too. Don't be embarrassed that that's what you're feeling. I think that would be normal.
Very normal. I mean, it's really hard because, you know, you've been with this person for a long time, and now there's a breakup, and we don't know what the reasons were, but you got to park that on the side, and it's really hard to let go of that, your disappointment and your emotions.
Right. Fight-free zone.
Oh, my gosh, yes. No fighting in front of the kids, ever. Not when you pick up the kids, not when they're in earshot, not when you're on the phone with your ex. The most damaging thing you can do to your children is fight with your ex. Okay. It's really important to put away the fighting because it's actually the best indicator of how your kids are going to thrive after divorce.
Yeah, and what about making sure you remind yourself over and over again about the kids? In what way?
Well, I keep on saying to people, I have a mantra, what's best for my children, put my kids first, what's best for them. You want your children to go through childhood and their teen years with the least amount of turmoil and the most amount of love.
All right, and we already touched on this. In order to work through it, take personal responsibility about where you're at emotionally.
Exactly. Seek therapy. And expect the first year is going to be really hard, and it may take you actually up to 5 years to recuperate from a divorce.
Right.
It's normal, but keep it child-centered and child-focused.
And we're using the word divorce, but of course anyone with children, whether you're traditionally married or not.
Exactly. Separation. Once you have two households, this is what we're talking about. You'll have to learn how to cooperate and co-parent because actually raising children lasts a lifetime, not until they turn 18, not not until child support stops.
Yeah.
Your kids will want you there at every important event of their lives.
Okay. Is there any trick you can leave us with in terms of something you can say to yourself? That mantra maybe is what it is?
That mantra.
You always want to think about your kids when dealing with your ex.
That's right. And it's okay to back out of a disagreement or a conversation. That's important. You don't have to engage in that. You can say, you know what, I can't talk about this right now. I'm feeling a little bit conflicted.
Right.
I'm upset. Back out of the conversation and let them know you will get back to them.
Appreciate the tips
Thanks.
there. Easy to give advice, hard to follow it, no doubt about
Yes.
that, but certainly that is step one. So there you have it. Thank you very much,
you.
Natasha. Appreciate it.